All right, welcome back to the stream. Welcome back to another video. Today, we're going to do a little PSA video, public service announcement regarding range loss. I think I saw this article that talks about how they did a study, which it's kind of funny because you would think this is because all types of cars lose range in the cold weather, but Teslas and specifically other EV electric vehicles have a little bit more range loss in electric vehicles in a cold weather. So we're going to do a quick video, and we'll also talk about range, I guess. And we'll talk about all the different ways that how you drive and how you drive in your car can affect your range while driving a Tesla model vehicle. But before we get into that, let's roll that intro real quick. All right, so welcome back to the stream. Welcome back to another video. My name is Dennis, and I love talking about Tesla hacking, as I like to call it, but basically just getting the best deal on a Tesla at the best possible price. So if you're interested in any of that, please hit that subscribe. Also, really good financing. And this video is actually sponsored by my Calendly link down below in the description, but more on that later. All right, so let's just get into it. There was an article posted about on Inside EVs. Basically, they did a study, or someone did a study, that winter and cold weather EV range loss data from 7,000 cars. And basically the TLDR of this is your vehicle, both gas or electric vehicles, is going to have some sort of range loss when it's especially super cold outside. This one, I guess the study, according to Recurrent, said that some EVs can lose up to 35% of their estimated range in the freezing weather. So this is kind of just like a PSA, like for some of you that live on the East Coast or the Northeast or even Central, where it does get a lot of snow. I mean, 35% of range is a lot. I mean, take 35% of 300 miles, that's almost what, 100 miles at most, if not 120 miles that you could lose just because it's cold weather. And just to think, like, you're not even supposed to be charging your EVs up to 100% anyway, so there's like already even more loss on top of that. So definitely some pretty interesting stuff the study goes into, and I'll post a link to this in the description if you're interested. But it also goes into a bunch of other vehicles, and what's really interesting is the e-tron right here, and also the Jaguar, I guess, had pretty nominal like range loss. Like the e-tron only lost 8%, give or take, of the whole thing. Jaguar I-Pace lost 3%, and that's like really low compared to all the other EVs on this list. I know we only talk about and care about Tesla here because Tesla's a great and fantastic electric vehicle. I think there was a study that like Tesla owns like 60 to 70% of EV market share at the moment, so definitely insane. But you know, Model 3 and Model Y, the top two vehicles that a lot of people buy, I feel like, definitely that watch this channel. Model 3, 17% range loss verified in the winter, and the Model Y, 15%. I mean, this is not, you know, new. It shouldn't be, hopefully it shouldn't be a surprise, because when it's cold outside, especially 20 to 30 degrees, everything is working harder. Even your body, you yourself are working harder to keep warm and efficient and I guess moving. So, I mean, this shouldn't really be too much of a surprise, but I guess some of the vehicles, like the crazy ones, like the Mach-E, like 30% range loss. That's a little high right there. And then what was the other one that's, is there any of them that are actually 35%? It doesn't look like. Chevy Bolt, 32%. So Tesla's not that bad when you compare it to everybody else, right? Volkswagen ID4, 30% as well. You know what I don't see here on this list, which is kind of funny, according to this study, I guess they didn't consider it a popular EV model or even a competitor by this study. I don't see the Polestar, the Volvo Polestar 3 or Polestar 2, the sedan, basically. I don't see it on here, so which is kind of interesting. So I guess they didn't want to test it, or maybe they couldn't have tested it. But I mean, relative to everything else, like Nissan Leaf, 21%. I mean, Tesla's average in terms of how much range loss. Of course, there are a couple of vehicles on this list that do a little bit better, but at the end of the day, you know, it's not bad. But just definitely a PSA for those of you that live in the East, the Northeast, or even Central, where you get snow, you get harsher conditions like Chicago. You know, definitely something to keep an eye out for. And Tesla actually has support pages all about range and like what does it actually mean Range basically means how many miles you have. And then there's other terms like state of charge, basically your iPhone or your iPad on wheels battery percentage, like 10, 20, 30%. You can even see it even has a section right here for cold weather and how, there's definite, preconditioning, how you can precondition your battery to make sure it's ready to go and a bunch of other stuff. And on top of that, they also have, another section in their owner's manual that talks about getting the maximum range as well, and how these different ways, if you're about driving, whether you're driving, and they actually tell you when you're driving with your model and your Tesla, if you go over 75, 80 miles an hour, it does give you a little warning that you're going a little bit too fast and that you're going to deplete your battery even quicker. Other tips like using regenerative braking is really good, making sure you use AC or less AC, of course, less cargo load, windows rolled down, all these different types of things our tips can be used to maximize your range. So definitely some pretty interesting stuff. I mean, now it's like official that there was a study that came out that, Teslas and all EVs lose range in winter vehicles. But I do like how Tesla is kind of the middle of the pack here. They're not the worst, or they're not the best either. But I do like, and this will only get better because Tesla, invests a lot in their technology and their research and development. So we might get down to where you see 10% loss or 8% loss like the e-tron, or even 3% loss like the Jaguar I-Pace. That would be pretty cool, right? So definitely some pretty interesting stuff. Yeah, exactly. The Ioniq 5. Ming, welcome to the channel. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to tonight's broadcast. 30% loss is crazy. Yeah. Oh yeah, you're right. I don't see the Ioniq 5 on here at all. Look at that. So I guess they don't consider it a competitor to all these other ones. No, that's probably because the Ioniq 5 just came out pretty recently compared to those other ones. Maybe we can compare the Hyundai Kona at a 19% range. So just basically right in line with everybody else in the pack with this as well. But let's jump into some questions and comments real quick. Jeanette Flores. Hey, Dennis. I got a Model Y 22 with 13,000 miles for $58,000. Is it a good deal? No, it's not a performance trim. Okay. That's that. If it was a long range, I would be a little bit, on the fence that it was a good deal. But this is basically how I find out if a vehicle is a good deal or not. I basically go to Car Buyer USA, which is a great wholesaler website. They actually buy cars from customers, not like KBB and those other ones that just give you, an arbitrary value. This is what I do. I take the vehicle that I'm interested in, so 2022 Tesla Model Y. I put in the exact miles that it actually has, and then I see what's the wholesale value of that vehicle. If you bought it from like a dealer or a private seller, they only have two options, right? They can either sell to you as a private buyer or sell it to a wholesaler like CarMax, Car Buyer USA, and all these different other resources that are at their disposal. But this is how I find out if I have a good deal. So I put in the exact vehicle like here on Car Buyer USA, and I hit get offer. And so the wholesale value, this is not saying that you can actually get this, is 54.6. So then what I go from there is I take that number and I go and just basically lowball a bunch of private dealers or sellers out there, of course, $2,000 to $3,000 more, because it has to be worth it to them to deal with you as a private buyer when they can just wholesale it, easy, get a check in hand and be on their way. So if you got it for $58,000, that's fair. I mean, that's basically what, $3,500, $3,300 more than what wholesale is. That's fair. I mean, you got a car. Hopefully it's one that you love, the color interior that you want and all that stuff. And hopefully you got a good interest rate as well. So I wouldn't say it's a bad deal. I would say it's a fair deal. I wouldn't say fair. I would say good. There's fair, good, excellent, and amazing, right? Your deal is good. It's not the worst. Like, it's not paying like $60,000, but it's also not, the best, the slickest deal. Like the slick deal would be paying like 55.5 or 56. But of course that's hard. You really have to find the right seller that's in a pinch or in a bind that just wants to sell it ASAP. But thanks for watching this video. This video is actually sponsored by my calendar link down below in the description. You can check out my calendar link where you can actually schedule a call with me. It's a 15 to 30 minute call where you can ask me any questions about buying a Tesla, selling a Tesla, or even financing a Tesla. And after you schedule the call, you get a link to my buying guide that has links to all the resources that I use to get the best possible deal at the best possible rates. And on that guide, there's actually 2 credit unions right now that have rates in the 3 to 3.5% from 60 to 65 months. But so definitely check that out if you're interested. It's white interior. Yeah, I mean, that's sick. It's really hard to find a white interior these days. I've been looking, I know. especially in the Model Y, Model 3 variant. So that I think I put my stamp on it. I think you got a good deal. But thanks for watching this video. Please hit that like if you enjoy it, and I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya.